Fileshare. Let us explore the core host role of the file server, the digital filing cabinet of the modern enterprise. In any professional organization, users need a centralized, reliable place to store, share, and collaborate on documents. A file server is a networked host specifically designed and configured to provide this shared access. To truly master this host role, we must examine the primary protocol that powers it, the differences between network-attached storage and dedicated servers, and the critical security permissions that keep data safe. The heart of file sharing, SMB and port 445. On a Windows-based network, the server message block, or SMB, is the primary language used for file sharing. While legacy systems used a complex mix of ports, modern file sharing operates almost exclusively on port 445 using the Reliable Transmission Control Protocol, or TCP. Because file sharing requires every single bit of a document to arrive perfectly intact, the connection-oriented nature of TCP is mandatory. If a single data packet were lost during the transfer of a massive spreadsheet, the entire file could become corrupted and unreadable. SMB ensures that the data is delivered in the correct order and resends any information that is lost in transit. Dedicated servers versus NAS devices. When you deploy a file sharing service, you generally choose between two types of hardware hosts. First is the dedicated file server. This is a powerful computer running a full server operating system, such as Windows Server or a specialized Linux distribution. These hosts offer the highest level of performance and allow you to run advanced security tools, automated backups, and data encryption directly on the machine. Second is NAS or network-attached storage. Think of a NAS as a simplified file server. It is a dedicated appliance that contains multiple hard drives and is plugged directly into your network switch. While it may not have the raw processing power of a full server, a NAS is highly efficient, easy to manage, and provides a cost-effective way to give a department or a small office a large amount of shared storage space. Security, shares versus NTFS permissions. The most critical part of managing a file server is ensuring that the right people have access to the right files. As a security professional, you must understand that there are two separate locks on every shared folder. Share permissions, these are the first line of defense. They control access when a user is connecting to the folder over the network. You can set these to read, change, or full control. NTFS permissions. These are the local security settings on the server's hard drive itself. They are much more granular, allowing you to control whether a user can list the contents of a folder, read a file, write to a file, or even take ownership of the data. The gold standard for security is the principle of least privilege. This means you only give a user the absolute minimum level of access they need to do their job. For example, a receptionist might need read access to the company phone directory, but they should never have write or modify access to the payroll folders. Mapping network drives. To make the file server easy for employees to use, administrators often perform a process called mapping a network drive. Instead of forcing a user to type a long network path, like //server1 / shared files, the administrator maps that path to a local drive letter on the user's computer, such as the S drive or the P drive. To the user, it looks exactly like a local hard drive, but in reality, all that data is being stored safely on the central file server. The modern evolution, SMB version 3. From a cybersecurity perspective, you must be aware of the version of SMB your host is running. Legacy, SMB version 1 is extremely dangerous and susceptible to ransomware attacks like WannaCry. In a modern environment, we exclusively use SMB version 3. This version introduced end-to-end encryption, which protects your files as they travel across the wire. This ensures that even if a hacker is running a packet sniffer on your network, they cannot see the contents of the documents being shared between the server and the workstation. By mastering the mechanics of port 445, the balance of NAS versus dedicated hardware, and the strict enforcement of granular permissions, you will be prepared to manage the vital data lifelines of any organization.